Today I'm with the topic non-verbal communication. Yes, so before getting into the topic non-verbal communication, just we'll have a brief about verbal and non-verbal communication. There are two types of communication. One is verbal communication, another one is called as non-verbal communication. So what is verbal communication if you see? The verbal communication is communication used with the words. Yes, so it can be a written communication or a oral communication. Yes, so non-verbal communication is communication without using words. Yes, so now let us see what is non-verbal communication. So interpreting the non-verbal communication, the survey says that 7% verbal and 38% words are said and 55% facial expression when we communicate with a person. Yeah, so this 45 percentage we use verbal communication and 55 percentage in our communication we use facial expressions, that is non-verbal communication. So when we communicate, just think about when we communicate, how do we communicate? We think that the words that we speak alone conveys what we say. No, that is not correct. Yes, so apart from the words that we use, the cues, the non-verbal cues, that the expressions, the movements, hand movements, and when we turn our heads or eye contact, these non-verbal expressions, cues, conveys the same whatever we are trying to convey through words. Yes, and sometimes it conveys more than the words. Yes, but it conveys in a manner where it shows whether it is a positive or a negative thing. Yes, the facial expression shows whether we are happy, whether we are sad, or whether we are tired, or whether we are bored. Yes, so more than words, this non-verbal communication conveys a lot. That is what the survey says. And so coming to communication, as I told you at the beginning of this video, yes, communication. So in a communication we cannot converse alone. Yes, we have a sender and a receiver. So the sender sends the message and the receiver receives. So sender, so thinking, encoding, transmitting, these three actions happen when a message is sent. And what happens to the receiver side? So perceiving, decoding and understanding, this process happens to the person who receives the message. Yes, so when I send a message and it is received and it should be understood, only then the communication is success. If I convey something and if it is not understood by the person to whom I have conveyed, then there is a miscommunication or a lack of communication. There is a barrier of communication. Then lot more we can name it in. Yeah, so this is the process of communication. So whenever we convey a message, when you communicate to the person, see to that the audience understood the message. The encoded things is understood, that is decoding. So transmitted message should be understood. Only then we can receive a feedback from the receiver side. So now you cannot communicate. Yes. So under this topic I have put listed few things in the slide where you people can see: body movement, personal space, touch, voice, environment, artifacts, physical characteristics. So what is this? What is this? You cannot not communicate. Yes, the not is in bigger font size. Why? If you ask me, the body language. Yes, so I'm not communicating. It expresses. Yes, so the gesture, posture, and all the movements that we do, and the personal space, that is. It is a different study where we call it as proximity. So touch, voice, environment, artifacts, physical characteristics, these conveys more than what we try to convey through our verbal communication. So now non-verbal communication. So there is a picture. One man is closing his ears, one his eyes, and one his mouth. Yes. So that clarifies, that is like what we say and what we see and what we hear. Just more than that, there are so many expressions that we can understand from the speaker. So non-verbal communication conveys more or sometimes equally like what we convey through verbal communication. Now, coming to the detailed learning of non-verbal communication. So first place is for body movements. Let us start with body movement. So here the posture, gesture, yes, that is the body movements that conveys a lot. So there is a picture of a man showing thumbs up, another man showing his hand, that's time up. Yeah. So that is a gesture which conveys something. They are not using any words there, but they convey something. Yes. So it is understood what that message actually says. So that is body language. Yes. Without using words, there are so many things where we convey using just the sign. These gestures and personal space. So this study is called as proximity. This study is So this proximity, we can divide it in four category. One is intimate, one is personal, another one is work and public. So if you just imagine a situation where you're standing in a bus stop and a person, an unknown person just comes stand next to you, what will be your reaction? Yes, what we do, we step aside from the person. So we just try to maintain more distance from that person, that unknown person. Yes. In other incidents, you know a person, but then too you are not very close to them. So in that case, again we maintain a space between the person and in workplace. Yes. So these four category of space which tells if it is my friend, or if it is my brother, or if it is my mother, if it is my father, if it is my, yes, the intimate zone. What kind of space do I maintain? And if it is a public, what kind of space I maintain? If it is my friend, if it is my neighbor, yes, the space that automatically a body maintain with the other person. Yes. Again, it is a symbol of body language where we cannot accept the sudden the closeness, that the body immediately reacts. Yes. So this part of study is called as proximity, proxemics. So under that study we have these four categories. If we analyze ourselves, we'll know how we react when sudden incidents happen with a known and unknown person, where we maintain the distance. And the next thing is touch. Yes, we call it as haptics. So this is again a deep study where this conveys more again than words. Yes, so handshake, shaking hand, or when you tap somebody, when you just tap the shoulder of someone to encourage or to show your grudge, or anything it might be. Yes, that feel we can understand. The feel that the touch gives you, we can easily understand what kind of on what kind of notion they do that. Yes, touch. The study is named as haptics. That conveys more. So when you are attending an interview, yes, often, not always, often they we do handshake. Yes, why do they do handshake? If you analyze, we don't know, we just think it is just a welcome. No. So just by shaking a hand with a person, I can read whether the confidence level of the person, whether he is nervous or he is very confident, and what is the state of mind. Yes, and the nature of the person also. Yes, so whether he is giving a firm shake hand, or it is like how the way we shake hand, again it conveys so many things. There is positive and negative also. The communication always says positive or negative things in body language. Yes, and these are few examples I just wanted to make you all understand what actually this body language is. Not going very deep into it. We are just seeing what are the kinds of body language we have, and what you can tell from a person's voice and environment. Yes, again, voice conveys a lot. Yes, so when your voice is very shaky or it's very low, there is no intonation in your voice. Yes, we understand, isn't it? Don't we understand? When I am questioned and when I am not sure about the answer, I am not loud enough. My voice will go down. Yes, and another way, and another instant is when I read something for the first time. Yes, when I'm not confident about the words, also the spelling, the words, or how it should be pronounced, there will not be that good intonations. Yes, the falling and raising intonations. Yeah, so that falling and raising intonation will create interest in our speech, in our reading. When we are not using these intonations, so that will become very flat, very bored. We'll know we the person who is listening to us will not understand which is very important and which is not. So where I just want to make stress on something, I raise my voice. Voices, I just give more stress on it. The intonation level goes up. Yes, the falling and raising intonation, up, down, up, down, that kind of. Yes, so when I just wanted to make or give more stress on the important things, I give a raising intonation, and later I just go down for the explanations. Yes, the falling and the raising, the falling and the raising will create a differentiation in our conversation, and where it will be not boring. You will have a different tone that creates an interest among the audience. Yes, next, if we see artifacts, yes, the clothing, jewelry, perfume, beauty aids. Yes, so I used to say always, beauty is not something about the color, whether you are black or white. Yes, beauty is something how we groom ourselves. So in that case, this clothing is very, very important. How you groom yourself, jewelry, perfume, beauty aids, and so many things. Yes, how you carry yourself again conveys a lot. Just by seeing the attire of the policeman, the uniform, we know that he is a police. Yes, so the color, the dress code. Yes, we are able to identify what they are. Yes, that is one kind of body language. Just by seeing their dress, we know what they are. Another thing is, there is the formal wear, there is the casual wear, there is the party wear, and these wears we should know when to wear and how to be wear. Yes, and coming to jewelries, again it is the same. And like the perfumes, yes, the perfume should not disturb the other person. Yes, you should know the purpose of using the perfume. And these things are something which is to groom yourself and make yourself very pleasant and not to disturb others. And those things are also very, very important, and that is again a form of body language. And non-verbal messages. So non-verbal communication, if we just wanted to convey in a very short few lines, I would say that it is present in all communication. While I speak, yes, the lip movement, my facial expression, like I look into someone, I blink, yes, I my expression is not stable, it keeps on changing. Yes, these are the non-verbal cues. And may like there might be some difference between the use of the gestures, but then too it conveys a lot. So what finally this nonverbal communication always says is we easily can understand whether he is talking in a positive way or in a negative way. The positive and negative effect is clearly understood if you are well enough or good enough or reading someone's body language. Yes. So here I just wanted to make you all clear about what is nonverbal communication, and for further more detailed study, maybe we may catch up in the next videos. Thank you.